Debbie and Carrie are now celebrating their 40th wedding anniversary at the Smith-Wilson mansion, and dozens of friends and relatives have gathered to wish them well.
When I first met you, I knew you were special, because you stood up for me and was willing to share in the scorn and persecution I had been suffering from my classmates and even some of my teachers. And we have fought for each other ever since. There was a void in my heart, and when you entered my life, you filled that void so perfectly that I knew I had to dedicate my whole life to you. Here's to another 40 years of love, Debbie.
And then they proceed to interact with their guests.
Thanks for coming, Jason. And I am so sorry about your wife.
Thanks. Olivia was such a wonderful lady. And cancer is such a horrible bitch. I just wrote my will, and after I pass away, all the valuables in my estate will be sold off and the money from the sales donated to the American Cancer Society. I hope that helps.
And Suzanne, Richard and I got to notice that we have been nominated for the Nobel Prize in Medicine for next year because of the technique we invented to restore your life. You always wanted to follow in your grandfather's footsteps. He won a Nobel Prize too.
We didn't do anything with a prize in mind. Not even to make a lot of money for us. We decided not to have a patent on our discovery so that as many other lives can be saved by it.
Just like Jonas Salk didn't have a patent on his polio vaccine. Tara, I was actually surprised to learn later that it was Jonathan who persuaded Mother Jessica that I and Debbie should get married while still in high school. Why didn't you two get married first? He remembered how heartbroken you were because of Angel and Patrick, so he wanted to see you become truly happy again. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it's never a good idea to rush into marriage, but everything I ever heard about Debbie from my mother and from Jessica and Lucy made her seem like an angel compared to anyone else you could have hooked up with, Carrie. It's like you two were indeed made for each other.
A new hospital is being built on the Indian Reservation in Oklahoma, where I've been teaching. Would you consider working there, Paul?
Only if Vicky agrees. She would have to resign from her position as minister of this town's UU church.
I will consult with the church's board of directors, but last time we talked about my position with the church, they said they were happy with me and wanted me to stay. Giving up the baby I just gave birth to was the hardest thing I ever did, but seeing the joy later on the face of the woman who adopted the baby showed me I did the right thing. And last I heard, the child, now named Polly, is doing quite well. She is now 5 years old. At least you know the child you had is alive and well. Imagine what it is like losing a child due to death. That pain never completely goes away.
I have to admit that Tuscany Tavern was a great place to eat, and the town in general is a great place to live. Maybe I should have been willing to move to this town when we got married.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad you enjoyed the tour that I took you on. It brought back some great memories for me.
With my modeling career taking off in Dallas, I am happy where we are now, Uncles Charles and Michael. Let's stay with Debbie and Carrie.
So my re-election was assured once I promised to finish paying down the town's public debt. I did not promise not to raise taxes, though, and indeed I will increase them to a modest degree to pay down the debt faster. Hopefully the people of the town won't notice or care.
You seem quite different from the man I knew of decades ago. What changed you?
Reality. I've learned that political dogmas, of both the right and the left, are always bullshit and should be ignored.
Debbie, Fiona Owen is at the front door and is demanding to see her sister, Jennifer. Should I call the police on her? Go ahead and ask Jennifer if she wants to talk to her sister. If she says yes, you and I will watch them from inside. Why are you here, Fiona? After the crap you and David inflicted on me, you are one of the last people in the world I want to see. But that's the problem, Jennifer. David is gone. He just suddenly disappeared, and without him I have no financial support for the household and my son Nathan. I could get a job, but since I only graduated from high school, any job I can get would be of low pay. But I was thinking if you and I moved in together, we could then raise Nathan together. Please help me. What about our parents? You know our father is disabled and our mother has to take care of him when she is not working. So there is no room in their home for me and Nathan. You are my best hope. So you lost your husband, and without him your life is a mess, eh? Serves you right for accepting that idiotic Christian lifestyle. The days of men ruling the world and women serving the men because of some ancient commandments from men claiming to speak for God are over. Deal with it. You had something to do with David disappearing, didn't you? And what if we did? Did you know about David's attempt to blow us up with a bomb he sent us in the mail? Aye. Yes, he told me of his plans. And I knew what he was attempting was wrong, but I was afraid to oppose him. I figured as long as he provided for me and Nathan and didn't hurt us, I'd be all right. Like father, like son. And like son, like grandson. You Owens are so zealous about being Christian, but when faced with opposition that exposes how shallow and hurtful your faith really is, you resort to being criminals rather than just let us atheists and others live in peace. Dave Owen went to prison because he burned down a church he'd been fired from. Nicholas Owen was killed because he tried to overthrow a democratic government that he couldn't control. And now David is defeated too, because he tried to kill me and Carrie. We made sure to send him to a time and place he could never return from. Just be thankful you didn't end up like him.
Fiona, I will make a deal with you. I will return to Atlanta and help you raise Nathan, on 2 conditions.
Name them.
First, you will never allow our parents into your house. You may visit them at their home, but I don't ever want to see them again. And second, I will not tolerate you raising Nathan in that false and bigoted Baptist bullshit the Owens have been known for all these years. That crap must end with Nathan's generation. Is that clear?
Crystal. You may raise him to be atheist instead.
No, I don't want to see him raised to be anything other than to be a good human being. The very thing his father wasn't. When he is old enough, he may decide what he wants to be in terms of faith, or lack thereof. He just won't be brainwashed like we were as kids. Can you believe what we just heard?
Of course. This is the ultimate moral victory. Not by destroying people, but by changing them after they see the error of their ways and know to be better than in the past. We did that just as our mothers did before us.
And so that brings to a glorious conclusion the series Debbie and Carrie, The Next Generation. I hope you have enjoyed watching this series, and its predecessor series, The Debbie and Carrie Show, just as much as I have enjoyed making them. Peace and happiness to all.